Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/spookshow. Then go over to morbidlybeautiful.com as we are now part of the Morbidly Beautiful Podcasting Network.
You see Santa Claus tonight? You better run, boy. You better run for your life.
But Mother Superior, it's Santa Claus.
Now I have another reason to hate Christmas.
Now that hell is full, I wonder where you will go.
The caller is in the house. The calls are coming from the house.
You're my family now.
But if you're bad boys and girls, your name goes in the bad boys and girls book, and I'll bring you something horrible.
Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus.
Hello, welcome back to the All-American Spookshow podcast. I'm Josh. I'm joined here with Tiana.
Hi.
And the Professor Smoke.
What's up?
And I guess it's time now. We can just go ahead and say it. Merry Christmas. So this Thursday is Christmas Day. So for everyone that celebrates out there, Merry Christmas to you. And I'm sure, I don't know how all these holidays intersect, but you got Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and Festivus. That's for the rest of us. I know that. There's all kinds of shit going on right now. So whatever you celebrate, happy holidays, happy everything, right? And of course, next week we got the New Year's, so we'll get into that and everything we've got planned that's going to have something to do with that. But we're close enough now to where we can say Merry Christmas, right? And the way we decided to celebrate was with a wild card. And I think Donnie was kind of behind this, and of course his ass isn't here for it. He was kind of one of the driving forces on this one, but we'll let it slide. It's Christmas, right? We'll let it slide. But we're talking about Santa Claus from 1959. AKA Santa Claus versus the Devil.
That's the more apt title, yes.
Yeah. I mean, if anything is, I guess it's that.
I mean, not that the devil's like in it all the way. I mean, well, he's kind of in it all the way through, but not that he's in it a shit ton. He's not like, it's not that he's versus Santa Claus all the way. There's interplay between the two, but just the fact that the devil's in here in the way, and then the fact that he does play a bit of a role.
I think it's more like...
I think you need that outlier in there, rather than just...
The title should be like, The Devil Undermines Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Because that's really what's going on. He's just fucking with him. He's just poking. But he's unsuccessful in every turn.
He's thwarted. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess the first question is, have either of you seen this before?
Nope.
I have. When I was in Texas... because Texas being so close to, to Mexico and everything, the culture there, this movie would play around Christmas time there on the cable, maybe on I don't remember exactly what station or whatever. I just know that it would play locally.
I was about to say probably just some local late night matinee.
It wasn't even late night. I'm talking about this in the middle of the afternoon with the other normal Christmas movies kind of and stuff.
I can see that.
It was a tradition apparently there, because it just, I mean,
but being a Mexican, it's a Mexican movie that's in English, right, or an English dub.
I don't know.
But it is a Mexican.
Part, I'm not sure if it's Mexican movie, but I don't know if it was shot in English or.
I'll jump right into this part. It actually debuted November 24th of 1959 at the San Francisco International Film Festival. Then it was released in Mexico 2 days later. Yeah. November 26, 1959. It wasn't released here in the United States, according to what I could see, until October of 1960. So almost a full year later. Before it had any kind of quote unquote wide release, how it was back in those days, probably drive-ins or something, right? But yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it was. Actually, I did see an ad for it. Wasn't a drive-in ad, but I did see an ad for like some movie theater that had like a big, kind of way they did back then, sort of tying in stuff with it. I don't know if it necessarily had a Santa in the theater, but that kind of thing.
I could see this maybe. Then again, drive-in. Then again, I was about to say though, drive-ins are kind of seasonal even back then, right? Like, did they? I mean, because when it was cold outside, I know at least some of the local ones around here during the winter months they really don't operate full time, right?
Yeah, it very well may not have been. And you think about it. It could be in the drive-in, but if it were playing in Christmas time and back in the 70s, probably not. Maybe there's some warmer climate drive-ins in the deeper south here that stay open in the winter time.
Maybe.
Or a little bit longer, if not in the winter, at least the fall,
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure unless they're doing some special like Christmas event thing, the ones that I know of around our parts, like they just kind of shut down for the winter months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ones around here do too. I mean, we don't, not to go off another tangent there, but we need to go. The Minetta Drive-In is the closest one I think we have. We haven't been there yet, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they certainly closed for the winter season. I don't know how far. Probably after Halloween.
Just a couple months. No, I think they're still open now, actually.
Oh, there you go.
It's usually not for a very long period. A very long period around here. It'll be like say, sometime I want to say like maybe October, November.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's usually after Halloween. Because I know they show like scary movies or whatever, horror movies at Halloween time, and then maybe it kind of dries up after that until like the spring, something like say March, something like that. They reopen, but there's definitely not as many of those as there used to be. That's for sure, around here or anywhere for that matter. I don't see this movie being like a grindhouse. I mean, I guess I could see it being a grindhouse type of thing, but I don't see where it would get any kind of wide play there, right? Back
I wouldn't think so. I mean, maybe in the festive season of Christmas in the Grindhouse, Christmas on 42nd Street, maybe you got Santa Claus versus the Devil, but I'm not 100% sure.
I could see maybe some niche little thing nowadays playing it.
Oh, yeah.
But back then, probably, this is too cutesy.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Yeah, I think like I said, that ad I saw was like, I don't remember it wasn't like, I don't know what theaters were major theaters back then, but it was like a local theater, but it was an enclosed, wasn't a drive-in.
Yeah.
So it was, I should have saved it because it was a pretty cool ad. It was just a black and white that looked like the old newspaper ads, right, for a movie theater playing the movie, but it had a full page layout, I guess. It wasn't a drive-in, so I doubt that it played in drive-ins at Christmas time. Like you said, it'd be too cold for that.
I've actually seen, this is probably, I'd say at least the second time that I've watched this movie all the way through, because I watched it years and years ago. But actually, if you count, I want to say it's Mystery Science Theater 3000 did this. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Pretty sure. So if that's the case, and I'm pretty sure it is, this is probably the third time I've seen it over the years. So I think that's probably one time too many, to be honest. But here we are. The only other title we've already talked about that I could find was Santa Claus versus the Devil. It was produced by Churubusco Azteca Studios, Mexico, and then Cinematograph, I'm going to fuck this up, Cinematograph, something like that, Calderon, S.A. It was distributed by K. Gordon Murray, maybe K. Gordon Murray, maybe I'm not, maybe that got misspelled there, but either way, he was like a Mexican movie distributor. I'm guessing here in the U.S. or whatever. So like this and many movies similar to this, he had a hand in those over that time or back in those days throughout the 50s and 60s. It's rated G, of course. Total runtime, which has got to be one of the rare rated G polls we've ever had on the Spook Show, right? I know we've had some, but not many.
Not too many. If I had to think of one right off the top of my head, what was the Western we did? Was it the Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter? Was that G?
If anything was, it had to. God. Well, I can think of two cannon fodder, the Canon movie tales or whatever. I'm blanking on what they were, the pervert cat or whatever, or you know which ones I'm talking about. The two that we watched there, those fairy tale ones.
Yeah, the Frog Prince was
Frog Prince, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. The pervert frog and the Emperor's New Clothes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Those were definitely rated G movies, and there might be one or two that we're blanking on. And then you get into like the pre-Hays Code days and all that shit of older movies, and the pre-current rating system and all that stuff. They're movies that are probably worth a G, like you said, but yeah, not many that we've done here. Total runtime of this is, good Lord, it's every bit of an hour and 34 minutes. Plenty of tags on IMDb for this one, by the way. It's got comedy, family, fantasy, and holiday horror. Now, I'm guessing the horror element is just the devil, right? Because to me, there's no real horror here.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing here that would scare a newborn through any age child. It's not going to be scared. I mean, maybe the devil will be a little, whatever. But I mean, it's nothing in here that a kid couldn't watch.
Unless your kid is just freaked out by psychedelic type of weirdness.
yeah, it is. Now it is weird.
Yeah,
it is
very
odd.
Fucking weird, and we'll get into
I can't
that.
imagine kids these days, like say, take your average teenager and sat them down and say, all right, we're going to watch this traditional Christmas movie from Mexico, 1959.
My son is 14 years old. I could probably get him to watch this for about 3 minutes before he'd bail. Like, there might as well be an eject button on the chair on the couch that he would hit and just send himself through the roof if he sat down to watch this. There's no way I could get him to watch this. At least not without paying him.
No. I don't.
It was filmed in Mexico City in May of 1959, so not a huge turnaround there from May to November of 1959. It was directed and the story was written by Rene Cardona, who also did Night of the Bloody Apes and Neutron Traps the Invisible Killers. That sounds awesome.
Now, also, before you go on too far from there, some people will be familiar with that name, and they'll definitely be familiar with Night of the Bloody Apes. I have that on VHS actually still, and that's a fun movie. And it is horror. That one's definitely horror and got some gore and stuff in it. His son, though, Rene Cardona Jr., is also not going to be a stranger to anybody who likes grindhouse movies, because he did Night of a Thousand Cats, which is another horror kind of. I mean, I would say it's a classic Mexican horror film. For anybody who's into Mexican horror films, they'll know that one. Tinto Era is a Jaws, one of the many Jaws exploitation or Jaws ripoff movies that came out. That one, I remember renting that as a kid, and it has its moments. It's fun. And again, it's very low budget Mexican horror Jaws ripoff, but it's fun. And there's a few other. I think he did a movie about Jim Jones. The Guyana guy. The movie's called Guyana: Cult of the Damned. So Cyclone, the movie called Cyclone, the Bermuda Triangle. So he's definitely no stranger to the grindhouse.
You just reminded me of that Bruno Mattei movie, Cruel Jaws, that we watched over on Video Vortex. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, speaking of Jaws exploitation,
Jaws ripoffs. God Almighty! Remember the Great Value Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was in that movie. Jesus Christ! I didn't think we'd go
sounded like the Chris Farley. Sounded like the Chris Farley thing there for a second. Remember that Hulk Hogan? Yeah, geez, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. All right.
It was.
When he's talking to Paul McCartney, you remember that time you were in the Beatles? Yep. All right. Anyways, unfortunately, Rene Cardona passed away at age 81 in April of 1988. The story was also written by Adolfo Torres Portillo. He worked on, maybe these are some titles I don't know, Hellish Spiders. That sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome. I haven't seen that.
And Santo versus the Headhunters. Now, I know there were
some of those.
I've seen some, like maybe one or two Santo movies, but El Santo was a huge luchador.
Oh,
yeah. Like he's like, what would you compare him to? Like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair of
except that he was even
probably even bigger.
Probably so. There, I don't know how many El Santo movies there are. More than a handful, and I have a few of them. I remember I have one that's on the old school Something Weird VHS tapes before they did the official DVD releases and everything.
But he was so big and such a huge star in wrestling that they just put him in movies, and then he made a ton of outlandish, weird, grindhousey type movies, right? Like all throughout the 50s and 60s. I guess
sci-fi, horror, and always with the wrestling. There's always, of course, I mean, he is a luchador, so there's always going to be wrestling.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. We should mention that luchadors, if you're not very versed in it, they all wear masks. So El Santo had the mask, and like whatever he was playing, he still wore the mask in all these movies.
Yeah.
He never, he never broke the character, so to speak. So yeah, he's just a masked luchador, and
and his rivals would be pretty big names too. Like I guess at the time, and in Mexico, like
Blue Demon,
the Blue Demon.
Yep.
El Santo versus the Blue Demon, or was it Demonio Azul or whatever, whatever it is in Spanish.
Yep. But yeah, apparently Adolfo Torres Portillo had a hand in at least Santos versus the Headhunters. Unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 75 in June of 1996. And then really, cast-wise, the only one worth mentioning, I think, is Santa Claus, the guy that plays Santa Claus, I should say, and that is Jose Elias Moreno. Another thing too, I believe I saw like Rene Cardona, the director of it. He was an actor himself.
Mm-hmm.
He had been in a ton of movies in Mexico as well, so he was a known commodity in front of the camera and behind it.
Yeah, I think I saw that was like 100 and something acting credits and 100 and something directing credits.
Yeah. So, like a lot of those guys, whether it was in Mexico, the U.S., or wherever back then, they cranked movies out left and right. Right, like they just had a movie making machine. These guys, and they were just one after another, making them cheaper and faster. Back then for sure.
Oh, yeah, I mean that goes back to, and we've done Dracula, right? And did we talk about Dracula in the Mexican version of Dracula?
Yeah, we did. We did at least within the context of the fact that, remember, it was made at the exact same time.
Yeah, they used the same sets, and they let them use the same sets. They just had their Mexican actors and actresses.
I remember seeing something about like apparently they just switch stuff out, and they did it at night. So like during the day, they're over there making the the Universal Dracula movie, and then at night they're making the Mexican Dracula movie. Yeah,
and honestly, really, if they had and not to go off on too much of a tangent again, like we do sometimes, I'll keep this one short too. But if they had Bela Lugosi in that movie, that would have been a better Dracula movie to me than the actual one that Universal put out, because somehow the Mexican one came off as less stage. The American one is more stagey because it's based on an opera.
Yeah.
So it came off, the dialogue and everything came off as more stagey, like you're watching a play.
And
basically.
A lot of the movies at that time, we've talked about that with those movies at that same time period. A lot of those movies did because so many people involved that's how they were used to operating.
Yeah.
You're really in the early stages of film. So like a lot of those people did come from stage and Broadway and that kind of stuff. Right. So like, that's just how they kind of presented them. They presented them as like, well, here's a play that they put a camera up and started filming, Now you get into this talk, the talkie period, they kind of start to kick out of that a little bit, but I think you still have that in certain movies, and Dracula was one of them. Whereas Frankenstein, if you think back on it, Frankenstein didn't feel that way to me, but Dracula sure did.
Dracula, I think it's really because of that being, they didn't base it so much on Bram Stoker's Dracula as they did on this. I don't remember the guy's name, but whoever wrote the play that was based on Bram Stoker's Dracula, that wrote it for adaptation into being done as a play, and they used that same adaptation for the movie. So that's why it comes across as a little bit. Bela Lugosi's great, and the other actors are great in the movie, but the dialogue and the interplay between them and the scenes or whatever is definitely almost like you're watching a play.
And Bela Lugosi was kind of stagey. I love Bela Lugosi, but he was kind of he came from the old days of that. So he always kind of acted like that too. But I think the only place to start with this nut house of a movie is right at the beginning of the movie, where Santa is like, it's like the North Pole, right? But they call it Toyland. And Santa lives in a castle. It's the Toyland Castle that's in space. It's like, I guess it's kind of like in space above the North Pole or something. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's weird. It almost, it's like, are we at the North Pole or are we in Asgard over here?
Yeah, it is almost like that.
So, because they were up, it's like, it's not North Pole it is, because there's a scene where he's leaving the North Pole.
Yeah.
Going up, when he's delivering the toys up above the clouds, and he almost hits the moon too, by the way.
Yeah. Because why not?
The model of the moon up there, he almost runs into the model of the moon right there. And they make a point to say that he almost hit the moon. But so I guess it's in the clouds above the North Pole.
I was just like, what the fuck? It's in space.
And they got that telescope with the eyeball on the end of it.
Oh yeah. Well, all the little gadgets and technology or whatever that they use, it's like, dude, I'll tell you right now, straight up, if Pee Wee Herman didn't watch this movie and get most of his ideas, I don't know. Like, there's no way he didn't. Right? Like, I don't even know what to say there, but like, there's no way he didn't gack some of the Pee Wee's Playhouse gags from some of the shit that's in this movie. And I'm sure there were other movies that were similar to this, but like that weird, like, technology is alive kind of vibe that you get from it. Like, there's that one machine that's got a mouth. It's got lips. And then, like you said, the eye that's like, let me look. And then there's an eye, like,
Yeah, I mean,
on
there's a telescope there, but you would think
Yeah.
you look through the telescope
Nope.
to see, but no, you look through the telescope at an eyeball on
Yeah.
on like a, what do you call those things? You know, those stretchy, like the lamps that are on your desk lamp or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way Pee Wee Herman didn't watch this as a kid and then put it in his little notebook of weird ideas. You know, when he's making Pee Wee's Playhouse in the 80s, because that's what it felt like to me in some ways, not in every way, but like just some of like the set dressing and the odd things. Yeah, like it's like this is Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Hurry, hurry, step right this way, folks, for the most extravagant array of refreshment goodies ever assembled under one roof. Enjoy breathtaking, taste-tempting candies of finest quality. Enjoy popcorn, exploded into tender, delicious, crispy bites of crunchy goodness. Enjoy the tops in cool, refreshing soft drinks. If you want to enjoy some refreshments, this is your opportunity. There will now be a short intermission.
And then at the very beginning, they go through almost every, I mean, not every, but a lot of countries.
Dude,
of all the kids that are helping Santa.
Oh, I was paying attention to it. It's almost the entire first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's the delegation from France. And then they sing a song. And don't forget this, the kids from Spain. And then they sing.
And then half of the songs they were singing weren't even Christmas songs. That's why I said, I think they did Mary Had a Little Lamb or something somewhere.
Yeah. It was like, and here's the American delegation that Mary had a little lamb. It's like, what?
You could at least do Jingle Bells or something, right?
Yeah. So either like they were just like, what song do you know? Well, we know Mary Had a Little Lamb. Okay, sing that. And they just
also we can't afford Jingle Bells, so we're doing Mary Had a Little Lamb.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the case, but I mean, you know.
I don't know.
It's just weird to me that they weren't doing Christmas songs. Now, some of them were, but some weren't.
I did notice that, that some of them were like Christmas tunes, like Jingle Bells, whatever. Then the other ones are like singing Ring Around the Rosie or something. It's like, huh? But this takes 10 full minutes.
Oh, yeah. And meanwhile, Santa's playing the piano, and then
like a madman.
There's like in lights on the piano above Santa right there. Whatever country, England.
Yeah. And then it displays in front of him. Oh, now I know what music to play. And he's just bouncing along. But then he laughs like a madman.
Yeah.
Like all throughout the movie, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's not the typical Santa you're used to. Like, the cheery, he's typical
cheery.
Santa's laugh or whatever.
He's cheery, but it's like he's not ho ho ho. It's like it's more like that. It's like, all right, take it easy, Santa. What the fuck?
So much so that I hope that I can find. I made an edit because this movie has come up before. I've put it on a list before in the past on Christmas wheel spins or audience voting things or whatever. But it's never gotten chosen before.
We've come close.
But way back then, I remember because I'd seen this movie before, so I went and got some clips from it, and that figured in the clips that I edited together. But I can't find it, and if I find it, we'll put it on the socials. But
the deer,
the Santa laugh, and then the deers laugh too. The reindeer.
This thing is a fever dream.
It is, and that's what when I first saw it. Like I said, I was in Texas when I first saw it. That's what it felt like the first time. I was like, "What is this? Is this is awesome? It's crazy! I can't believe it's a cultural tradition that plays every Christmas on normal regular TV in the afternoon, or that's cool. That's cool."
I don't begin to know what the history of like Christmas movies is in Mexico. You know what I mean? I'm sure they got their fair share. They got their own industry and all that stuff, just like we do here in the U.S. I'm sure they got plenty. Yeah. But I could see where like, well, I guess this is one of the better ones of a certain time period. It just sticks,
Well, we also have, what a very similar movie to this is Santa Claus versus the Martian.
Yeah. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Yep.
Santa Claus Conquers the Martian. Yep. Yeah. That one's very similar in tone to this movie.
Unfortunately, I've seen that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Very similar in weirdness and everything.
You can do a double feature of those two movies if you really want. If you really want to get inundated with Christmas weirdness,
I would suggest maybe some party favors. Maybe that'll help you get through it. Maybe alcohol. I don't know. Your thing of choice. I'll leave it up to you.
Alcohol, peyote, whatever.
It might freak you the fuck out, but have a good time getting there. At least.
You would never see Santa Claus the same way again.
No. Well, I mean,
you imbibe some psychedelic substance to watch this movie or Santa Claus versus.
We see Santa in lots of different ways, even in this movie. Like Santa apparently can tap into their dreams.
Yeah.
Like not only is Santa watching you, but he's watching your dreams.
Yeah. Santa's watching.
Yeah.
Santa's. Oh no.
Yeah. No. I was like, dude, you're taking creepy to the next level here. This is he's Freddy Krueger. So Santa is even judging these small children based on what they're dreaming about possibly doing wrong. Think about that. It's fucked up.
He's like, naughty. No.
Yeah, punish. I mean, the little girl is like, well, in her, no, she almost does steal a doll, right?
She almost steals the doll because she's
poor. They make it a point
to
talk about how poor this poor little girl is all the time.
She wants this doll. She's in the window looking at the doll, and then there's a whole bunch of other kids around, right? Because it's one of those scenes where were they singing in that scene too? I can't remember what they were. But there's a whole bunch of kids.
There's like they're singing, the
apartment window thing or whatever, and she reaches up, takes the doll out of the apartment window, right, in her daydream. Is that what it was?
No, I think she's later on, she's actually looking at a dream where the life size. That's the part where there's like life size dolls. Dancing around in her dreams.
Another weird fever dream thing. Yeah, that scene is crazy.
But he's basically like, oh, she did the right thing, even in her dreams. So like, wait a minute, like she can't even fuck up in dreams? Santa's gonna give you a lump of coal even if you just think it? This is like Minority Report of Santa wishes or something. Like, what the hell? It is odd. Oh, and then the whole devil thing. Where the devil is. Apparently it's Lucifer. So I guess Satan himself is like, ooh, this fucking Santa. I'm going to get this bastard. He's making people happy. So he sends one of his other little devils to just fuck with these kids and, try to undermine Santa or whatever. Now, apparently I didn't really catch this too much in the movie, but that main devil that's fucking with him, his name is Pitch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Pitch. Isn't it Pitch?
Pitch.
Pitch. Yeah,
Pitch. So Lucifer himself.
Pitch is not the name.
Lucifer himself, though, is over here somewhere. Like he's an unseen, like Satan. So Satan's got nothing better to do at this point than to send one of his little demons, who named Pitch, out to fuck with Santa, or in particular, to damn these kids to hell. So they won't get gifts, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's all to take down Santa, right? That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, it seems like, yeah. I like how he's introduced to, like, one of the kids is over there playing with this little figurine of the devil, and he's like, oh, what do you got there, kid?
Yeah.
And he hands it, it's a devil thing, and how's this work? And it's like a firework thing, like, because the kid goes, here, let me light it for you. And he lights it like a firework. And he starts spinning around and blows up. And then the devil, then it goes down to hell, I guess, and the pitch or whatever starts, the spinning part. He's like spinning because of the firework thing was spinning, right? And then that's when Lucifer stops him, right?
So we naturally transition to hell at that point. Oh man, this shit is whack. This is a fever dream from hell. This whole movie. But in the end, of course, I mean, we don't need to dive deep into this, but in the end, basically they're able to, thwart the evil Pitch and Satan himself. And then Santa, he makes it back, and then, he leaves the doll for the little girl, cause she's kind of one of the main characters here, right? Like this whole time she just wants a doll. So she gets her little doll, and then he goes back to the castle in the sky in space above North Pole or whatever the fuck. And all the Earth's little children are happy. The end. So there you go. It is weird and odd, but in some ways, like kind of charming too. Like
yeah. Because I mean, for the most part,
it
it's
is.
other than the fever dream aspects of it, it's really sort of like one of those, like a heartwarming Christmas movie, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you got the girl who, like I said, she's not she's poor, and they keep cutting to her, showing her and her family, and you know the mom's feeling bad because the girl's asking for a doll for Christmas, maybe 2 dolls, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll get 2 dolls because I'll get one
because she wants to give one to Jesus or whatever. Like, I mean,
because the mom was talking about Jesus being poor and then manger,
Yeah,
and having to be in the manger and all that, and then so she's like, well, I want 2 dolls. Maybe Santa will give me 2. I can get one, and then I'll give one to Jesus.
yeah,
And so the mom's like, oh great. I feel
yeah.
like,
How can you say no to this? Fuck, you've really painted me in a corner here, Lupita.
And then the other movie, other than the sort of like pulling at the heartstrings kind of things of those scenes, the other scenes are our pitch trying to get one over on Santa in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Trying to
And getting the kids to also to help them.
Yeah, the 3 little
Naughty
boys
kids.
with the leather,
Naughty.
the 3 little kids with the leather coats, and
Yeah, and they're awesome little flat caps.
Yeah.
I rock a flat cap, so I can appreciate
there
that.
you go. They look like typical 1950 street toughs.
Yeah,
You know, but they're little mini size ones.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, for what it is, it's weird as hell, but it's fun, you know. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough to put it in my annual rotation of, you know, I've seen it enough kind of movies. But I could see where, like, you know, if this is something you grew up with, I could see this being, you know, like you said, in that certain area of Texas, where I could see this being a traditional type of thing, because it is a family friendly type of movie. Except, you know, I guess the devil stuff running around, that's not normal, but.
Yeah, it's not normal. I guess you could say it's still family. Nothing gets. I mean, it's crazy, and like you said, it's kind of a fever dream thing. Nothing is risque or extreme or you know, nothing's gonna really.
And I wouldn't think
not
it'd be
want
anything.
your kids to watch it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anything that like is gonna traumatize your children. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, it's just that no kids are gonna want to watch it these days.
No, not
probably.
these days.
Unless,
no.
You better start them off early. If this is a movie that you like and you appreciate, you better start your kids off as infants watching.
Yeah.
You get them used to it early, you know.
Yeah, like, you know, everybody always has their favorite version of the Christmas Carol because, you know, there's 100 different adaptations of Christmas Carol. So whatever your family's favorite is, that's the one that you have your kids watch. All right, we're gonna watch a Christmas Carol, whether it's the Jim Carrey version or the old Alistair Sim version or whatever. Patrick Stewart, who's the one Patton, the guy that played in Patton on Blanket, George C. Scott.
Oh, yeah, that's the one we watched.
There's that.
Not too long ago.
Tons of versions. So whatever your favorite version is, you kind of raise your kids kind of watching that version. So this is like that. You know, like if you like this, like you said, start early. So there you go. I know this is wildly inappropriate for this type of movie, but we're still going to do our normal bits. But we'll get to that in just a second. So this was a wild card thing, so we got to do our final thoughts and ratings. For sheer wackiness, I'm going to go 1.5 stars because it's not a great movie, but it's memorable and weird, and you know, I guess there's the moral of the story and all that crap. You know, it's there's fun to be had, but it's just weird as hell. So I'm going to go 1.5 stars. So Tiana, what do you say?
I'm gonna give it 2, just because it's its own thing. When you think about it, like it's from 1959, and nobody's done anything like it. So
who was asking for this in 1959? For that matter, who's asking for it now? You know what I mean? Like, this is so weird. It just stands alone in its oddness.
Yeah.
So what do you say, Smoke?
I enjoy it for what it is. You know, I've seen it maybe 3 times now, maybe 4 times. Because like I said, when I was in Texas and it would come on during Christmas time, I would watch it again.
Yeah.
So it's fun, fever dream, crazy Santa movie that is still appropriate for Christmas, even with its weirdness.
It is. Yeah.
So it has a charm to it.
And if you think about, because I think that thought did pass my mind while I was watching it. If you think about it, really, this is about the most Christmassy thing we've ever watched here for Christmas.
Yeah,
you know, because
usually we're watching something like Christmas Evil or
Silent Night.
Those are Christmassy, but not in the way that you would show your kid. Or anything, you know.
No, but in the sense too, like where this story actually is about something that has to do with Christmas. Not many Christmas horror movies actually have anything directly to do with Christmas. It's usually just
other than just those ones we mentioned, right? Christmas
Yeah,
Evil,
yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night are the
Christmas
most
Evil.
obvious ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
this is
usually not.
the most
Usually we're
Christmassy
just
thing the Spook Show will ever get to, probably.
yeah, because this year we've done what Christmas horror movies? I mean, they're barely touching on Christmas this time around.
Well, Silent Night, Deadly Night last
Except
week,
for that one.
and then the Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker, which
well, that one's a lot to do with Christmas too. Yeah, but
and
but
then,
there was a couple of them that was barely.
Inside.
Yeah, inside it just was taking place on Christmas.
Yeah, that just so happens to be Christmas Eve and the Christmas Day kind of thing. That could happen any other night.
Oh yeah, and the Coffin Joe and Bloody Exorcism.
Yeah, over on YouTube we watched Grindhouse Gutter. We watched Bloody Exorcism of Coffin Joe.
Yeah, same thing with that one. It was just set. It was a Christmas tree, and it was set around Christmas, but that was it.
And then Video Vortex, we watched The Day of the Beast.
Yeah, same thing with that one too. Really, right? So,
yeah.
So yeah, that's this is definitely the most Christmassy movie that we have done.
Yep. And probably will do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of the stuff that's really Christmassy doesn't fit in our. It's not really Cult Corner.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do Miracle on 34th Street and say, "Well, the Cult Corner day we're doing Miracle on 34th Street."
Yeah.
No,
and we can
it's a great
show
movie, but
and
it's
we
not
can
Cult
show
Corner.
this to the kids, but we can't show them Maniac. Not yet.
No, yeah, that was, yeah, that's one we did down the road there. Last year, year before, something like that. We did that for Christmas. I picked that for Christmas Grindhouse or something.
So what was your rating, Smoke? I missed it in there somewhere.
I'm gonna go 2 and a quarter.
2 and a quarter.
2 and a quarter.
Which ironically is exactly what Donnie gave it.
Did he?
Donnie gave it 2 and a quarter just for the shits and giggles. You know, the
Yeah,
fun of it.
Yep.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, you know, if you're going to give it any bonus, it's just because it's just so odd.
Yeah.
You know, it's unique in that way. So there you go. But like I said, it's wildly inappropriate to do this, but we're going to do it anyways. Donnie's not here for his connections. But Tiana, what kind of kill count could you come up with?
Well, not surprisingly a 0 on this one.
I'm shocked. I'm flabbergasted. That leads me naturally to the highlight kill. There's nothing. And unless you want to say that hour and a half that you took to watch it, you know, that was probably the most gruesome kill of it all. Like a little piece of you died with it. Other than that, no, there's no. So that leads us once again naturally to the gore score. Smoke, what do you got?
Gore score.
A whopping 8. You know, whenever Pitch disembowels those elves, that was pretty crazy. But no, nothing like that in this movie. 0 also. So round it out with a 0.
Yep. Perfect 0, which in this case I think is just right.
Yeah. It's a Christmas movie.
Exactly.
I don't know if you can say traditional Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie that's made for kids. So nothing extreme, nothing crazy. Nobody dies. Even though the devil tries to kill Santa multiple times, or
there's that.
He doesn't succeed. So yeah.
So this is the most family-friendly Christmas movie we've watched since Die Hard. That's what we can bring home. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, from all of us here at the Spook Show to all of you, Merry Christmas and all that jazz. But next week, before we completely check out here, we got to tell you what we're going to be doing, and that's the 2025 year in review. So it's not necessarily what have we watched here on the Spook Show. It's every horror movie, and I guess we could throw in some, non-horror, if there's something you really like that you watched this past year. But it's basically recapping everything that we all individually watched throughout the year horror-wise. And, we kind of go through what we loved the most, what we hated, and everything in between. And then maybe we'll even look into next year, 2026, and see what we're looking forward to in the coming years. But that is our last episode of the year, because that will come out on December 29th, a week from tonight. So that is the last episode of the Spook Show you will get in the calendar year of 2025, because the very first episode that you'll get in 2026 on January 5th is episode 300. So it timed out perfectly. Like the beginning of the year is a huge milestone for the Spook Show, episode 300. Yep. And we haven't come up with a clever name for it yet. But we do know that it's going to be the final lament configuration. We're gonna it's the final stage of the 10th level of hell for the Hellraiser series. Because
until they add another level.
Well, that eventually,
maybe.
Right?
Maybe.
They'll open that damn cube again, and here we go. But we've got 2 more Hellraiser movies. I think it's Hellraiser 9 and 10, whatever the names of them are. We'll get into it. But we call those the Great Value Pinhead because this is post Doug Bradley, right?
Yeah.
So we got 2 of those to watch, and then we've got the newest one that came out a few years ago that was like a straight to Hulu thing that, I have seen that one before, and all I'll say is that it's better than those other ones that a lot of the other ones we've seen. But we'll get into that. So, like, basically, we're going to have a big blow off. We're going to watch those final 3, and then just be finally, until they make another one, be done with the Hellraiser series. So that's our big Pinhead blow off spectacular, whatever clever name we come up with. That'll be the way we celebrate the 300th episode of the Spook Show at the beginning of 2026. So hopefully some bigger things coming up, and we'll talk about those as we get closer to it. But we got some plans to maybe change things up a little bit here on the Spook Show and add some new stuff, take some stuff away. We'd like to do this every now and then to kind of freshen things up for us, if for no other reason. So, So there you go. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your family. Stay safe and all that stuff. And we'll talk to you one more time before the year's up, and we'll talk about our New Year's plans next week and all that. So for Donnie, Tiana, the Professor Smoke, I'm Josh. We are the All American Spook Show, and we'll talk to you next week.